This episode contains themes of violence and may be disturbing for some listeners. Please listen with care. Welcome to What's Done in the Dark, where every secret casts a shadow. I'm Tierra, and tonight we're talking about a case where nothing was rushed, nothing was loud, and the most terrifying part is this. By the time she arrived, they were already inside. It's early, before sunrise, the kind of hour where even the busy places feel abandoned. Inside a small church in Midlothian, Texas, the lights are off, the hallways are empty, and the classrooms sit silent. The floors echo when someone walks across them, but someone walks those halls before class begins. They don't run. They don't panic. They move slowly, as if they're waiting. Missy Bevers was 45 years old. She was a mother of 3, a fitness instructor, and a woman with routines. The kind of routines that make up the most ordinary lives. Missy taught an early morning fitness class, Camp Gladiator. Her students trusted her. She showed up and she motivated them. On the morning of April 18th, 2016, Missy was scheduled to teach a class inside Creekside Church of Christ. She planned to arrive early, set up, and be ready. But nothing about that morning was supposed to be dangerous. Missy's fitness classes weren't typical gym sessions. Camp Gladiator workouts were often held outdoors, in parks and parking lots and open spaces. But that morning, storms were moving through North Texas. Heavy rain and lightning were expected, so Missy posted in the class Facebook group the night before that the workouts would be moved inside the church. Students were told to arrive around 5 a.m. Missy was planning to be there early, unlock the building, and set everything up. It was a normal change, but that also meant the location and the exact time she would be there had been posted publicly. Missy arrived at the church just before 5 a.m. It was still dark outside. She parked, she unlocked the door, and she went inside. Investigators later confirmed Missy arrived around 4:20 a.m. She began preparing for the class, moving through the building. Outside, a storm was moving through the area, but police later discovered the suspect had likely entered the church earlier, around 3:50 a.m. For nearly 30 minutes before Missy arrived, someone was already inside. What she didn't know, what no one warned her about, was that someone had been inside the church long before she got there. Security footage later showed a figure moving through the building earlier in that morning, dressed in what appeared to be police-style gear. A helmet and heavy clothing, their face concealed. They wandered, they opened doors, and they broke into rooms. Not in a hurry. Almost aimless, almost patient. The surveillance footage became one of the most haunting elements of Missy's case. Not because of what it shows clearly, but because of what it doesn't explain. The person inside the church doesn't seem rushed. They don't steal anything. They don't flee. They linger. The footage shows the person moving slowly through different parts of the church. They open doors. They look into classrooms. At one point, they use a tool to break the glass panels of a door. Investigators later said, "This doesn't look like a robbery." Nothing important was taken. Instead, the behavior felt almost casual, like they were passing time. I don't know. One detail that stood out to many people, the way the suspect walked. Some believed it looked unusual, possibly a limp or a distinct stride. But even with the footage released, no one has ever been identified. And while the footage exists, it doesn't reveal who they are or why they're there. Only that Missy did not encounter an empty building. She encountered someone who had already decided to be there. When students arrived for class that morning, something was wrong. She wasn't there. They tried calling her. No answer. Eventually, her body was found inside the church. Missy Bevers had been killed. A routine morning had turned into a crime scene. Midlothian is a small town. Churches are safe places, familiar places. The idea that someone could enter a church before dawn, wait, and then disappear again without answers, it shook the community. Parents hugged their children tighter. People double-checked locks they had never questioned before. The quiet fear settled in. If this could happen here, it could happen anywhere. As investigators searched for answers, several details stood out. Security cameras outside the church captured a Nissan Altima driving through the parking lot that morning. Police believed that the vehicle could be connected. Investigators also looked into Missy's personal life, her social media, her phone records, and her relationships. They searched for a possible motive. Over time, theories ranged from targeted to completely random. But despite the vehicle, despite the footage, and despite thousands of tips, no clear suspect has ever been named. Police later confirmed the suspect seen on camera has never been identified and no arrest has ever been made. The FBI eventually joined the investigation. Authorities reviewed the footage frame by frame. They studied the suspect's movements and they followed up on hundreds of tips. But even after all of that, the identity of the person inside the church remains unclear. Her family continues to wait. Her children continue to grow up without her. And the church halls where she once walked in the morning remain part of the mystery, with no ending. What makes this case especially unsettling isn't chaos. It's patience. This wasn't loud. This wasn't frantic. It was someone who had time. Someone who waited in a place associated with safety, faith, and routine. Missy did everything right. She followed a schedule and she showed up. And sometimes, the most terrifying truth is this: danger doesn't always chase you. Sometimes, it's already there. As of today, Missy Bevers' case still remains unsolved. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Midlothian Police Department. And her family continues to seek justice, not just for Missy, but for the truth. Missy Bevers went to unlock a door, prepare a room, and help others start their day. Instead, her story became one of unanswered questions and one of the most haunting reminders that familiarity doesn't always equal safety. Every week on What's Done in the Dark, we tell stories that don't scream for attention, but still deserve to be heard. Because what's done in the dark never stays there forever. New episodes every Thursday, and thank you so much for listening. Bye.